Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got quite a grim rack. It's balanced, but it doesn't look particularly bingo-y. I suspect there may be no 8s with this rack. I certainly can't see a 7. And there's no particularly good 4-letter or 5-letter rack leave. I've got no E or S. So it may be best to play off a number of tiles if I can, so something like odium or duomi. I certainly want to play off the U and split up the duplicate D. Now I do just need to consider the tiles on the board for 8s. So do I have anything through these floaters? Can't see anything with the B. The A, unlikely. G, not promising. And nothing with the H. I've got the IUM ending. Now, odium does not play under bag. Duomi does. Slightly dangerous, because it's opening up row H for a 5-letter play. So, what about playing duo? 17 points. Not as dangerous, just providing this triple letter square. And rack leave quite balanced. I'm going with this. Pretty awful. Picking a duplicate D, V and Z. Now my D does go in front of OH. So I could play Diva in that spot, should it remain available. My V goes in front of UG. Bag only takes an S at the end, as does Duo. My D can go underneath Dar. I haven't seen any great spots for my Z, but the Z is a nice tile and this rack is a long way from a bingo. So I don't really mind if the Z stays on the board. Great score for my opponent, and doesn't really provide anything. So I'm really looking in row I. I could play admit in column 11, but that's putting an A in front of this triple letter square. Not great. So I could play Vim, which, although it's keeping 2 Ds, is a very restrictive play. And although I'm behind, I'm not massively behind. And the A goes well with the Z, and if I draw an O, I could have DZO. So I think this restricts my opponent's options. So what about playing Vid in that spot? Not as good, because it provides an A for Avid, and although I've got an A, there's still going to be a ton of A's out there. So I'm going with Vim. That looks a lot better. No bingo, but it's a balanced rack, and I'll be looking to play off the Z this turn. This is quite a blocked board, PHT and Vim. Quite obstructive tiles, so not a huge number of bingo lanes on the board. I'm not sure if Pug takes an S in front. I think it may do. Yes, so that is a 7-letter bingo lane ending in S. I have raised on my rack and adds and adst. None of those play at the moment. Dam takes an E after it, which I've got. Great, look at that, just 6 points for my opponent. So although he's ahead, the Vim play stopped him from scoring highly. So, what to do? I could play Zerda. Zerda and raised are both good. Zerda, I think, is better, because raised would place an A over this double letter square, and an E underneath this triple letter square. 30 points is a good score, and rad is an okay rack leave. Can I do better than this? I don't have anything beginning with E and using the Z for a play down column 8. So I'm going with this. Great, that looks a lot closer to a bingo. I have Dariole on my rack, which plays above and below the A of Zerda. It doesn't play under Zerda beginning at L1 because BIRR doesn't take an E. So my bingo spot could easily be blocked. However, if opponent plays down from the D, then it won't be blocked. I lead by 2. And if opponent does block my bingos, then he'll be leaving the Z alone, so I'll be able to score something. Okay, nice bingo for my opponent, but I am able to come straight back with a bingo. However, that is going to place an E in column 15. So, do I have an alternative bingo through one of these new floaters, T or A? So I have tailored, but that doesn't get doubled. And I don't think tailored has an anagram. And I'm not seeing anything through the A. So, but does Dariole have an anagram? I don't think so. So I have Dariole for 71. Well, I draw the Q, which isn't great, but I've got I and N to go with it. So I can play Chin in row D. The E of Dariole likely to be an attraction to my opponent. Through a U, I would have Mesquin. Now I've got Chin underneath Taylor's for a bigger score. Which would be good. Great. Opponent only gets 33 points, a very average score. And I can get 36 for Chin. And just seeing if opponent has provided anything. Well, he has. He has. And this may be fractionally better. 37 points. Anything better than that? I don't think so. And I'm retaining an S. Yorpa takes an S. Add takes an S. And this rack leave goes well with the A of Taylor's, so I think this is better all round. So, a couple of duplicate tiles here. Can't see a 7. Do I have anemones? I do, but it's blocked by the Z of Zerda. And it doesn't have an anagram. Can't see anything through the T. How about the I of Dariole? No, not seeing anything there. Okay, well, I have the M for score. So I could play Mona, which sorts out all of my problem tiles, leaves ENS. Quite an aggressive play. But the S is a bingo-y tile, and we're fairly level. Can I do better? Moni is good. So I could play Men. My O can go underneath the Z of Zerda. So I could play Mon, keeping Scene. 23 points. 24 points for Mona, and I quite like it. I think I'd like to keep the board as open as possible to maximise my chances of bingoing on the very next go. ENS goes well with the A, so I'm reluctant to block that. The O also benefits this rack. So unless there's anything massively better than 24 points, and I don't think there is, I'm going to go with this. Wow, pretty crappy draw. No scoring tiles. Slightly unbalanced, just the solitary vowel. And a fantastic bingo from my opponent, so that changes the complexion of the game. From being level, I'm now trailing by 100 with a pretty awful rack. And my opponent's play has taken out the 7-letter bingo lane onto Yorper. So I think I need to try and keep the board open and play towards the bottom. In order to keep Mona and Taylor's available for bingos. Still 30 tiles in the bag. Z is good. Can't see a 3-letter play there, and it's not opening up the bottom of the board. Ern does that, but only scores 9 points, and this rack lever isn't that good. But it's not that bad either, and it is opening up the bottom of the board. And I'm not seeing a way of opening up the bottom of the board and scoring more points. Apart from maybe playing lone. £10 points. This is a much better rackly, which goes well with the A and the O. So why don't I just move it around a bit and play Noel, because the L is less useful than the E. However, the E helps my rack leave. So lone for 10. More 1-point tiles, which is good if they make a bingo and bad if they don't. I trail by 100. So do I have something through M or T? Can't see anything with the T. What about the M? No, not seeing anything there. This feels pretty grim, a succession of 10-point plays or less, really not good, and not a fantastic rack leave either. But I do need to keep the board open for bingos, and sticking an E in the bottom row certainly does that. And the opponent will struggle to block that and score well. I think E'en slightly better, keeping the R on my rack. Because then the N of Mona is better, and the R is just a better tile than the N in any event. I'm going with this. Okay, so I have regales. I have gleamers through the M. Do I have anything through the T? Well, nothing's come to mind so far. I could have something. Gleamers doesn't score very much. Can't see anything through the E of E'en. I have enlarges, which does get doubled. My opponent's just blocked that. I have releasing in row C, I think. So I do have a bingo. And I don't think I'm going to score much more than this. So releasing for 74. And that's pretty good. I draw the final blank. I trail by 60, so I still need another bingo. But if I can score well with the J and bingo, this game could be a little closer than it was looking a while ago. So I'm looking to play off the J with the W, both of them being non-bingo-y, so a play of Jew would achieve that, or Jow. There could be a bingo with this rack. Not too many bingo lanes. Dueling may be good, but there aren't the tiles on the board for that. So where can I play the J? Great, just 18 points for my opponent, so I'm a bingo behind. And my Jew spot has been taken. Jow not available. Jew blocks the E, which I don't want to do. So just 8 tiles in the bag. Just looking around the top left to see if I can see anything, but nothing's coming to mind. And with so few tiles, I really am keen to burn the J and the W. But taking out this E just doesn't seem right. So, what about playing Jew here? 36 points, which is a pretty big score, and this is a pretty big rack leave. If the E remains available, I could have a bingo. So, Jew for 36. And what a dreadful pickup. F, V and duplicate I. So, not bingoing this turn. Such a shame. I do have a bingo on my rack. I think 5 pin is good, but no 7-letter lanes. Certainly nothing through the E. Onto an I would have Vinnie Ferrer, or through an R I would have that. Can't see anything through a OM. Just 5 tiles in the bag. And I trail by 50. Or 42 rather. I'm really going to struggle to sort this rack out in one go, because I'm looking to play off the F and the V. I could do that with 5 somewhere, but are there going to be 4 tiles in the bag? I don't think so. Just looking for any bingo lanes I've overlooked. I guess column 11 for bingos beginning with S. Now of F and V, I think the V is the less bingo-y. So if there are 2 tiles left and I play off VI, there aren't. Opponent empties the bag. Pretty good play by him. Forces me to bingo immediately, or not at all, and it's going to be not at all. And 40 points is a good score for him. And he takes out the E, so that's a great play. I can see what he's got left, which isn't particularly great, but it's enough. So I'm now looking to score as much as possible with two moves. Go out in 2. So I'm looking in column 15 to see if I've got a 6-letter play ending in I. Not seeing anything. I could play Jive. Or Jiving. Keeping IF back. So is there anywhere great for my V or my F? Well, there is. I've got Finn here for 36. And then I would have Nevi and Chi, guaranteeing an out. Opponent may not spot that. And I may have something else. I think I'm going to go with this. Let me pause. I have 6 minutes. What about a play beginning with my F here? I could play F-I-N-E. 38 points, that's more. I could play Fini in that spot. Well, this gives me Nevi in column 15. And none of these plays are winning plays, but I'm looking to minimize the losing margin. So I think I'll go with this. I could play Fin I rather than Fine, keeping then. And I think I'll do that because I've still got Nevi in column 15, but now I've also got Vein in row G. So I'm going with this. I trail by 44. Opponent's got the A for going underneath the J, so he could have something across here. But he's also got the F, so if I didn't play at the bottom, he could have played in that spot as well. He could have played Fin where I played Fin I or Finny. So what does Vein score? 25 points. Yes, opponent does go there. And I don't have a play in row H or down column G. What I do have is Nevi here for 17. Can I do better than that? No, I don't think so. And the final score, 389 to me, 434 to my opponent, a winning margin of 45 points, so well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. It was my opponent to go first. He played bag, my rack. I thought about duo my, switched to duo. Wow, opponent has fatter. Difficult one to spot. Plays PHT. My rack adds for 30. Horrible rack leave. Gives away a hook. So I prefer my play of Vim for 20. Opponent plays Burr. And now I played Zerda for 30. I could have got 36 for Adst, E11. Sticking the D in the middle of column 15, I prefer my play. Great rack for my opponent. He has a ton of bingos, plays Taylors. I come back straight back with Dariol. And there were just the two Dariol spots and the tailored down from the T. Opponent's rack. Plays Yorper. F14, Chin, that was my play. Not a great rack for my opponent. Plays Colo. Now, this looked semi-promising. Nothing here, and I played Mona for 24, which I like. Also Mino M10. Well, that's blocking a lane, so I prefer my play. Now this fantastic spot for my opponent totally changed the game. Codex is for 107, and I'm facing this rack. No bingo. So I play Lone for 10, Nerol for 13. Yeah, that's blocking lanes, so I prefer my play. Opponent plays White. And I play Ian for 9. And Niels for 28 is killing the rack. And opening up row O, triple word square, so I think I prefer my play. And it's also turning over a lot of tiles, which I don't want to do. So opponent's rat. Wow! He has niobiums A2 through the M. Very difficult one to see. Plays Obi. And I have releasing and resealing, and also algerines, which doesn't open up column A. Opponent plays Aurii. And now I trail by a bingo, just 78 points behind. I've got the blank. I have hope. Wow, Dewey's for 73. Gosh, yes, that's a bingo-y score. That would have been the play. 73 points would have taken me to 365, just trailing by 5. So I didn't do that. I played Dew for 36, which is 37 fewer points, and this rack leave is probably worth 37 points, or maybe a little bit more. But it's going to be close, and Dewey's is points in the bag. Now my opponent plays Cantus, which together with my pickup extinguishes my hopes. So I play Finney. Opponent plays Fag. And I go out with Nevi for 17. I could have got one more point for vents and duos. So that was the end of the game. 2 critical moments. One when my opponent played Codexes for over 100 points to establish a huge lead when we had been very close. And secondly, playing Dew instead of Dewey's. I think my opponent would still have been favourite to win after Dewey's, but it may have been a lot closer. So I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.